What's up, guys? What's up? Welcome back, I-90 Sports Nation. What is going on? What's up? What up, JD?
What up, dude? I'm ready for the season, dude. The preview show. I'm hyped. How are you, my man?
Yeah, it's nice to have football back, isn't it? From now until the first weekend in February, we get our Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays with some football.
Yeah, it's something, man. There's nothing on TV. It's been straight garbage for the last couple months. I don't know about you, man. Ever since the finals ended, but yeah, I'm excited to get started with this show. We got a ton for you guys today, more than we might even have enough time for. But we're gonna get it all in. We're gonna pack it all in.
Yeah, we got a lot. We're gonna hit on a bunch of stuff. We got a lot of good topics to cover today. So let's start it off with the Patriot. Should we start with Mac Jones or should we go with the
Bears.
Patriots matchup?
Yeah, the Patriots matchup. So the Patriots matchups, we can go with that since it's first. The Bears is a night game. And we always start with our teams first because our teams are the most important teams, obviously, especially my team.
Because they're the only ones that matter.
Especially the Bears. They're the ones that really matter. So we have New England at a 59% chance to win according to covers.com, which is, I think it's a Vegas site.
It is. They're affiliated with Vegas. Yep.
Correct. And yes, thank you. And yeah, there's like a +3, -3 betting odds for you if you're a betting man.
So Miami is getting 3. The Patriots are giving 3.
Correct. So how do you feel about the Patriots giving 3, and how do you feel about the matchup in general as a win-loss perspective? From a win-loss perspective,
I would say 65% chance we're going to win this game. If I had to put a percentage on it, I'm pretty confident. I think Miami's going to struggle against the Patriot defense. And I don't have a lot of faith in Tua at all.
That's exactly what I was going to say, actually, and that's the reason I think that Miami's going to struggle. Is because with the Patriots and Bill Belichick specifically, there's one thing that he's really good at, and that's defeating average or young, inexperienced quarterbacks who don't know what he's trying to do to you. And when Bill Belichick has an elite corner as well, it's especially troubling for young quarterbacks. And Stephon Gilmore, I think, is going to have a good day. I predict a Stephon Gilmore interception.
He's on the pup.
Oh, he is. That's right.
He's on the pup.
It does change things. I still predict the Patriots get 1 or 2 interceptions.
JC Jackson is still a good corner, though. He's still a very solid number 2.
Even without Gilmore, I'm still pretty confident that Belichick is going to have a good day, or that his secondary will have a good day.
He's always, like you said previously, Bill's always fared well against young and experienced quarterbacks.
Absolutely. And yes, he's fared well against quarterbacks in general, but especially the young and inexperienced ones. And I think the reason why that is because he's the greatest cornerback coach in the game, in the history of football. He is the greatest secondary coach in the history of football. That's why he fares well against quarterbacks. So, and Tua is not, although Tua is very accurate, Tua apparently he still doesn't know the playbook. He has the Cam Newton syndrome. So
I would be curious to see how much actual play time like Tua has on an NFL field. I don't know. I would, if I was a Dolphin fan, I would have a lot of trouble trusting him.
Trying to see what their options are. Let's see here. Is it Brissett? Is number 2?
So I think a lot of Patriot Nation is well aware that the Pats are going to lean on the defense and the run game this year to get them through. And I think for a while, until Mac Jones gets into a good rhythm, you're going to see a tight end heavy pass game.
Absolutely. And why not? Belichick has had so much success with tight ends, with having 2 tight ends. He's done it like 3 iterations of this. And yes, it's not Tom Brady, but tight ends are the easiest guys to call plays for. They are the easiest guys on the field to call plays for because they're so big, and all you have to do is just kind of get them open. And it's pretty phenomenal. He says
they're just big targets. They're big huge targets to throw to.
There's so many good ones that Hunter Henry is phenomenal. Like we've seen him make some amazing plays with the Chargers. I think he'll be just as good in a McDaniels offense. So I expect a lot out of the tight ends this year for sure.
Yeah, no, the combination of Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, those two tight ends, I think it's going to lend it well to keeping Mac Jones in a comfort zone. And I mean, the Patriots offensive line isn't elite, but it's pretty good.
Now you had said something a little bit ago, and it took me a second to pull it up completely. You had said you wonder how much time Tua is going to be given in there. Now, what do you mean by that? Do you mean by the pocket? Or
I mean how much actual play time he's seen, like on an NFL, like to me, like it doesn't seem like he's got a lot of real in-game experience. You know, I think he's still kind of like young, like to me, I think Mac Jones and him are on the same experience level.
Well, here's my question to you. They have a very interesting backup there in Miami. And now that we're talking about this matchup, what if Tua does struggle? I know we could play the what if game for anything. I realize that. But let's say Tua has kind of he struggles with this Patriots defense. Could you see a situation in which they bring in Jacoby Brissett, who has seen the Patriots multiple times, has played them? Not only that, he was a Patriot at one point.
Yeah.
So could you see the Patriot? I mean, you don't want to crush Tua though, but what's your opinion on that? On the backup being so strong?
I don't know. That's tough because if you take a backup, Brissett's a good backup. He is. He started for Indy. He started for the Colts for I think the whole year one year. And didn't do too bad. I think they were around. I think they got like 7 or 8 wins. I think they got 7 or 8 wins that season. I think 7 wins.
Something like that.
So he didn't do too bad. I think. He's like I think he's a serviceable backup, but I don't know. Like, do you really want to start a season like that and ruin a quarterback's confidence and sit him in the first game? I think it would take a lot. It would take a lot for them to be like, you know what? Nah.
I think, like 5 games of failure at that point. Like you would need like 5 or 6 games of failure
in
to
a
take
row.
him out. Yeah.
In a row.
So, but I do want, if I'm sitting there, Brian Flores, and I'm just like looking at Jacoby Brissett, I'm like, but if I see Tua start throwing 3 picks in the first half, I'm just going to be looking at Jacoby like, hey there. Hey there, Jacoby.
You better get warmed up right now. You better get warmed up.
Is that arm loose? For real, that's what I'd be thinking. So, interesting.
How's your arm feeling, Jacoby? Is it ready to roll?
Hey, Brissett, how you feeling, bro? No, for real though. I'd be strongly considering that if he does. Although I don't know if I'm expecting that. Tua has had a whole off season, like you said. To really figure things out, to really bond with his teammates. Who knows what we're going to see this year? We got 3 Alabama quarterbacks. But, there's 17 games this year. That's correct, Jared. And my question for you is, if you had to predict a score or what type of game it'll be, break that down for us. As unbiased as you can.
I think 27-14. 27-14, 27-17.
I agree with the 27-17. I think it's going to be, I think that the Patriots or the Dolphins might get 1 turnover. I think the Dolphins might get 1 turnover, turn that into 7 points, and then they're going to have a slow game, maybe get 1 touchdown at the end. But the Patriots are going to overwhelmingly dominate the game with the run. Like they're just going to pound that rock. You're going to see a lot of Stevenson. You're going to see a lot of Damian. You're going to see all 4 of the guys.
So here's a little nugget for you, JD. Ramondre Stevenson dislocated his thumb in practice on
oh my God, I'm missing everything.
Tuesday, I think.
On Tuesday?
I think this week, yeah.
But they were just doing walkthroughs, weren't they? I thought they were doing walkthroughs.
I think he did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he dislocated his thumb.
Jeez, man. Dudes are just
So-
like getting ice cream
So
cones.
they're hopeful. They're hopeful that he'll be ready to go for Sunday. But just add that little nugget in there. Add that in there.
Luckily, they have 3 other running backs. But I still feel the same. I think that the Patriots are going to win. I agree with you. It's going to be like 27. I think they'll get like 20-something points, anywhere from 23 to 25 points. And honestly, if the Patriots don't win this game, because the Dolphins are more talented or something, younger, maybe they beat the brakes off of some of them. Because keep in mind, who was that guy? Darn it, he signed with the Dolphins recently, and he came back to the Patriots. It's not Ninkovich. It's Van Noy. Thank you, Van Noy.
Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, like so. Clearly, Flores saw him as like expendable. So
There was some value there, though.
Oh, there's excellent value. Definitely, the Patriots wanted him back. But I do wonder, what if this is Belichick's? And do you, as a Patriots fan, worry? What if Belichick's time really was attached to Brady? What if this is like an average year or something like that? Does that fear ever creep into you or your fan base here? Or do we know what we're going to talk about it?
I don't know. I think the Patriot fan base, the Patriots in general, just being as successful as they have been for 20 years now, 20 seasons. I think the bar itself is already set high. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's already set really, really high. I mean, I think for the most part, I think a lot of Patriot fans understand that, Brady is a once in a lifetime, a generational talent. So you're not going to get, those 12, hope. Well, we can only hope that Mac Jones is half of what he is,
You're right.
But like with Brady, all those years where it's a guaranteed 12 wins, guaranteed.
He was so determined. He wanted to win. He cared about the game more than anything. That's why it is peculiar to me that Bill didn't want to keep it together. And I think at the end, Brady didn't want to keep it together, but there was a time when Bill didn't want to keep it together. And that is peculiar to me. I think he really liked Jimmy Garoppolo. That's a whole other story for a different day. But it's interesting. It is interesting.
I mean, we covered all of this in nauseum with Brady Watch, just all of the different angles and the different dynamics between them all, and all of the rumors and all that. I mean, me and JD have done countless videos during our Brady Watch series that we did, following his, Tampa Bay signing. But just the that whole dynamic. I think for the most part, though, most Patriot fans understand where the expectations are this season. And I think given Mac Jones's potential, I think a 10-win season is doable. I think it absolutely is.
And I was just playing devil's advocate because I actually believe that the Patriots have something besides Bill Belichick that a lot of teams wish that they had, and that's Josh McDaniels. So really good offensive coordinator. Yeah. Exactly, who could easily be a head coach. And I feel like Bill Belichick wants to win another title with Josh McDaniels, and then he probably wants to retire and then give Josh McDaniels the keys to the car. And Josh McDaniels probably wants that, the Patriot way and all that stuff. But regardless, as far as this season goes, you're right. I think the expectations are relatively tempered, but there is still kind of like a 9 to 11 wins, right? Like there's still kind of like hey, we still better be in the playoff hunt.
I think they'll be in the hunt. That's a definite. I think they'll definitely be in the hunt for sure.
I think so too.
And I think they should win. I think they should score this. Like I said, this game, I think it's going to be 27-14, 27-17, somewhere in that range. And I think a lot of those points are going to come on the ground. To be honest, I think a lot of those points are going to come on the ground. I think most of those 27 will come on the ground.
I don't expect Mac Jones to make a ton of mistakes, but I do expect the first like 4 or 5 games Maybe
You'll see. I bet
yeah.
you'll see him throw a couple of picks in the first 5 or 6 games. Just from getting.
Mhm.
I mean, he's a rookie, dude. There's fast cornerbacks, and he's going to be facing some of these elite guys. Guys in the corner. Let's be honest. Even the worst corner in the NFL is still an NFL corner, and he can jump in front of they can jump in front of footballs that are thrown bad. And even the worst corner in the league can jump in front of a badly thrown ball and pick it off,
Absolutely. And they do. And with the Patriots, they're about as good as anyone at running the ball. Them or the Niners, maybe at one point the Eagles, but I'm not sure about the Eagles anymore. Either way, I think the Patriots will have a good year in this specific matchup. I got Patriots winning this matchup handily. So you want to move on to the next matchup?
Absolutely. And for that, we will travel down the Mass Pike, heading I-90 west into the Windy City. And we will get to see the debut game and his first NFL start for your boy there, Justin Fields. So what are you thinking?
NFL start. I thought it was Andy Dalton. What did I miss?
Or hopeful, or
I hope.
Well, no. Let me back that up a little bit.
I was like, dang, is he really? That'd be cool.
So you're gonna get Andy Dalton.
You got me excited.
I know. I was just gonna say. All right. So you got your Chicago Bears and their opening day. Thoughts, JD?
Yes, absolutely. My thoughts are
it's not going to be
familiar foe.
Let's be honest. The Rams are not going to be like that front. The pass rush for LA is pretty good.
Oh yeah, the pass rush for LA was phenomenal, and it is phenomenal. And they also have a good secondary, very good secondary. They have probably a top 5 defense, if not a top 3 defense. So we have our work cut out for us. Andy Dalton, Andy the Red Rocket Dalton has his work cut out for him. On offense, I think we're going to be very inept, but I'm hoping for the very best. On defense, though, I believe that the Rams have one injured. I got to double check that. I believe they have an injured Rams puck list. They have an injured lineman, and I think that's good for us, for the Bears. We've seen Matthew Stafford quite a bit. And if there's a way for us to pull off an early game upset, there's a lot of momentum out of Chicago where we are known to do such things as pull these types of upsets. But one thing that's really revealing for me and that stands out to me when looking at this line, Vegas gives us virtually no chance. Vegas, you Bears fans who are watching right now, Vegas hates us, man. They hate us for this game. They are saying we are 7.5 point underdogs.
Yeah, they're not giving you guys a shot. I've seen it as high as 9.
Yeah, that's
on other betting sites. Like I've seen it as high as 9. They're really not giving.
So, I mean, that's what they think of us. So if we can pull off an upset here, bear fucking down, baby.
So what do you think it's here's the question. What do you think it's going to take? What do you think it's going to take to beat LA? What do the Bears do? What do the Bears have to do as a team to beat the Rams?
So we got to disrupt Stafford's first we got to disrupt his first game. Like he's going to want to get to it. Excuse me. He's going to want to get into a rhythm. A lot of Sean McVay's offenses are scripted, and Matthew Stafford is a guy who likes scripted offenses, and that's why they're a good fit naturally. I remember way back in like 2016 or so, when they had Jim Caldwell, he had a really, really good year because Jim Caldwell, he kind of cooked up a really, really good offense for him to, like, it took him like 3 quarters and they dominated the game. And I think they won a playoff game that year. So it was very good for him. And I think that Sean McVay is a perfect match. And so what we got to do, much like the Patriots did to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, we got to get to him. We got to disrupt him. We got to bother him. We got to make him uncomfortable. We got to get him out of rhythm. We got to ruin whatever script that they want to get going on us. And I think it's going to have something to do because they don't have a running game very much so right now, and they don't really want to run against Khalil Mack. I don't think that would be suicide. So they're probably going to throw over the top. So Eddie Jackson is going to be busy. He's going to have a busy day.
You think the back end of your defense is going to be real busy?
It's going to be busy, and I think Johnson. Yeah, Johnson's going to have a hell of a day, and Eddie Jackson. So Jackson and Johnson have typical last names, but those guys are going to be very, very busy. I think the second year man Johnson, and yeah, he's long though, so I like him one-on-one against people, and then Jackson can float around. So I like our chances as well as anyone as far as the disruption goes. It's going to be tough though. What are your thoughts?
I think you're right. I think that in order for the Bears to beat the Rams, it's gonna be one in the trenches. If you can get pass rush without having to blitz,
yes,
because the Bears run cover two. The Bears run cover two.
That's the key right there.
You guys have got to get the Bears have got to get pressure from the front, from their front. I'm talking front four without blitz, and if they can do that, which I think it's not outside the realm of possibility for them to be able to do that. But if they can cause havoc in the backfield without blitzing, I think they'll be okay. It's when they have to bring extra pressure, because Stafford can stand. One thing he did well in Detroit, and I think he's going to do well with LA, and I think McVay is going to feed on this, is the guy can stand tall in a pocket and deliver an accurate football,
No question.
And now that he's and the Rams offensive line is a lot better than Detroit's. So he's going to have extra time to do that. The key is you got to win it in the trenches. This game's going to be won in the trenches. It's going to be the Bears defensive front versus the O-line of the Rams. And I think that's going to be the best matchup, because you guys the Chicago has a pass rush. They got guys that can get at it.
Well, I was going to say that he's the guy that gives me faith. Khalil Mack, the fact that we have Khalil Mack, that gives me faith that we can win pretty much any game against anybody. And I think that you hit on one of the main things that we absolutely need to do, and that's get pressure on the quarterback without rushing too many people, without engaging in a big all-out blitz. And the second thing that we need to do is create turnovers. We need at least two. We're going to need at least two, because Andy Dalton, he ain't going to – until Fields is in there, we ain't going to generate any serious offense. So Andy Dalton, he's going to be inept, I'm sure. The red pistol.
The one thing that bothers me about Dalton is that don't get me wrong, he's a middle of the pack middle of the pack guy. He's not terrible, like he's not bottom third, and he's not, he's a middle guy. The one thing that always tends to happen with him is it happens at the most inopportune times. He'll fumble a football or throw a stupid ball trying to squeeze it into double or triple cut. He'll make some desperate throw to try and keep a drive going, and it ends up, costing him. And he did that in Cincinnati his whole time there. If it's not there, just eat it.
He thinks he's
either
better
airmail
than
it
he
into the stands, or just eat it and take a sack and live. Get him the next drive. Like he can't, if he's going to win with the Bears, then he's got to stop that, or at least limit it.
Do you want to know what I think about this Andy Dalton situation? I'm going to take it even further than I've ever taken it before. And I've thought about it a lot. I've meditated on it, man. Just like I've really gotten into this, man. I've thought about it a lot. So what are the things I think about it? So I think that Matt Nagy is a guy who he likes Ryan Pace was starting to feel the fire. Matt Nagy, not so much. Matt Nagy has been to the playoffs 2 years in a row. But Ryan Pace, he's been hearing a lot of the chatter. You didn't get Pat Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. You suck. Why did you get rid of Ryan Howard? A lot of problems. Definitely heard of that from me. A lot of you guys know on my channel. Made a big video about that. But anyway, regardless, Ryan Pace was hearing that noise. He was hearing that chatter. Matt Nagy was he's like, Ryan Pace hired me, man. I gotta have his back. And I think that Andy Dalton, when he came to the table in the summer, people were looking at Trubisky like, what do we do with this guy? Like, what do we do with this guy? Like, I don't know what to do with him. And Andy Dalton came to the table. He said, dude, I'm the best, man. I got you. I can save your job. I can take you to the playoffs. I've been to the playoffs like 5 times. Yeah, we didn't win anything, but I went there 5 times. We can go to the playoffs again. Keep your job. And he said, all right, man, I promise you, you're the starter. And once we had the chance to get Justin effing Fields, we took it.
All bets are off.
Yeah, we were like, wait, what did we say earlier? We don't care about that, but now you've already committed fully. Yeah. And you're also like, well, I'll take the time.
Listen, they didn't commit nothing. The hell with that, right? It's look at what a perfect example.
We said you could start the season.
Listen, perfect example. Perfect example. Belichick hooked his wagons to Cam Newton hard last year and defended him through anything and everything. Belichick's a cold-hearted bastard when it comes to making decisions for the team. He'll make the decision that he thinks that's best for the team, for him, for the success of the franchise. Mac Jones, like we went over this in nauseum too. 20 out of 21 practices were his. He owned them, right? Clearly, the better. Belichick's a cold-hearted SOB, man. He will make the decision. It does seriously. Yeah. You know it. I know it. He's a cold-hearted SOB, and he'll make the decision that he feels best. There's one thing on this planet that Belichick loves more than anything: winning.
Winning the game, man. Winning the Super Bowl. That's everything.
Just winning. He hates to lose. He hates to lose, regardless of the game. Regular season and playoff. He hates to lose.
And he doesn't lose very much. He hasn't lost that much in his career, to be honest. And the thing about it is, I think that Matt Nagy. I don't know if Matt Nagy is the cold-blooded. I think Matt Nagy has a little bit of cold-bloodedness in him, but I don't know if he's as cold-blooded as Belichick. But also, you kind of said it too. He doesn't owe him anything. All he promised him was that he owes him
nothing. He's the coach of the team. The guy's a player. I mean, I might be a cold-hearted SOB too, but it's like he owes him nothing.
No, you're right. You're right. He doesn't owe him anything.
You're not performing. Sit your ass on the bench, son.
He definitely has fire under his ass. But this is what I would say about Andy Dalton. We promised you could start the season, so you get the first snap.
We got
everything after that. I don't know about everything after that, but the first snap is yours, Andy. You can have the first snap at least. Maybe the first game.
I think Chicago, if Dalton really isn't it, and they know he's not it, they're still gonna stick with him for like 4 games. They'll still stick with him for like 4 games because they want Justin Fields to see here's how defenses react, and they're going to give him as much information as the first month. Let's be honest, JD, for any team, any NFL team, the first month is the trial run. It's okay. What's working, especially for the Pats, like it's in any of the NFL teams, it's what's working and what isn't. And they don't really settle into a groove until about week 6.
That's true.
So like they're going to give Dalton his opportunities to keep that job. But don't get it twisted, man. That leash, at least this is me personally from an outsider looking in. With a guy like Justin Fields being drafted as high as you guys did take him, and the potential that he did show in the preseason, and just the professionalism and his all around, his makeup, like it's going to be very hard after a month, especially after week 4, if Fields is still making the progressions and being as the professional that he said dude, think about it. It's going to be hard for them, for Nagy, for the upper management to hold that kid back,
Right when Dalton starts to look limited, right when he looks limited and the team looks good, right when the team looks good and Dalton looks limited, they're gonna roll with the rookie, I think. But you're right. I think it'll be a few weeks.
Do this for me. Look this up for me, just for for 1 sec. Look up Chicago's schedule. Look up the Bears' schedule for me.
Go down. Let's do this.
And we'll pull it up, and because it's just an interesting talking point, because it's because like the Patriots are starting, they're starting Mac Jones now, like there's no transition anymore. Like before, me and you were talking about a transition. There's no transition now. Now it's full bore ahead with Jones from week 1.
And I wonder if that was the smartest thing to do, because Belichick would know. That's kind of like where I'm at with that. And Matt Nagy, he's still kind of a young coach. He's in his 40s, and he hasn't won really anything. I think he won 1 playoff game, but yeah. So besides that,
were you able to pull that up?
Yes. So here's how it is. So we face the Rams. Face the Rams. They are projected to beat our kick our butts.
Yep.
And Cincinnati Bengals is next week. So let's say Dalton.
Give me your matchups from week 1 to week 5.
Here's what it is. So it's the Rams, the Bengals, the Browns, the Lions, and the Raiders. 4 and 5 look pretty good.
So two of those games you're going to struggle. They're going to have a hard time with. 2 out of those 5 are going to be tough. The rest and then there's one in there that's a 50-50 game, and you guys should demolish the Lions.
I would think so, yeah.
So what's week 4 and 5 again?
Week 4 and 5 is, let's see, I believe that was the Lions and the Raiders.
All right, so what's week 6?
The Packers.
So if they're going to make a move, it's going to be the Lions game. It'll be
yeah.
If they're going to make a move, it'll be the Lions game, because they're going to give him a warm-up game in the Lions, and then the Raiders are a little bit better, and then it's like, okay, now you're going to face the Packers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the Bears don't have an easy schedule.
It's a gradual skill level increase. You know what I'm saying? You start with the Lions, who are just a dumpster fire floating down shit creek, and then you jump it up to the Raiders, who are a little bit better. That team overall from the Lions is a little bit better, and then it's the Packers. So if they make a move, I think it's going to be it's definitely going to be that Lions game.
It has to be the Lions game, because then it's the gauntlet, dude. After the Raiders, it's the Packers, the Bucks, the Niners, the Steelers. Then you got a bye week, and then you got the Ravens, and then the Lions again.
So it's going to be the Lions week. It's going to be week 3. It's going to be week 3.
I think it's week 4, but yes, it has to be week 4.
Is it week 4? So yeah, so it is week 4. They're going to give him a month to see, to process and to get all this stuff. I'm gonna call it right now. Mark it down. Where are we at? We're at minute number 33 in episode 6 of the I-90 podcast. Justin Fields will start against the Lions.
Justin Fields will start against the Detroit Lions for the Chicago Bears. That will be his first start. You heard it first on the I-90 podcast.
And not only will he start, he will win that game.
Ooh.
He will start, and the Bears will win that game.
I like it. And it's bold. And I like it. And I hope it's true, and I like it.
So what's your score prediction for the Bears, for your Bears versus the Rams? What's your score prediction going to be?
Well, I'm biased, and I can't help it. 18-13 Bears. It's a bloody game. It's a bloody game, dude.
You're talking a rock fight then.
It's a rock fight. That's the only way we can win.
See, I got no faith in the Rams. I think Stafford's going to be good. You know what I mean?
Wow. I like this.
But
I
think Stafford's going to have a really good year. But I don't think the Rams are going to have a good year.
Wow. Why is that? Why do you think that?
Because I just don't trust the Rams. They're LA. They're the LA Rams. I don't know. They've ever since we mind fucked them in the Super Bowl, they just haven't been the same.
They really haven't. That is actually very true. Ever since they couldn't score, on Belichick, like McVay, I feel like he feels like
he's second guess. Ever since
he's like neutered.
that Super Bowl, ever since that Super Bowl, right? You watch him on the sidelines when it comes to making tough decisions in the last like 6 or 7 minutes of games. He like folds in on himself, you know? It's almost like he starts second guessing himself. And it's ever since they did that to him, that team hasn't been the same.
I also think Todd Gurley, his rise and fall had a lot to do with their success. Yep. So like when he fell so hard, like Todd Gurley, people will probably forget like really fast because of how just like, dude, he was one of the top 3 running backs in the league. People were comparing him to Adrian Peterson. Do you remember when he
first came into the league? Do you remember when Gurley first came into the league? He was a stud.
He was huge. He's so big. Literally, he like the second they said he developed some sort of arthritic problem with his kneecaps. Done. It's it, dude. That's all it took. It's over. His whole career is done after that. So after that happened, the Rams suffered, man.
It's the chronic knee issues that like you hear it more and more with running backs now that get used a ton. They hit that wall. As soon as those knee issues start, there's no turning back.
It really says a lot about Adrian Peterson.
It's not that I don't like Sean McVay. It's that it's almost like he hit a mental wall after that Super Bowl. Like he like went into like shock and like he second guesses himself now. And like, he's a bold coach. Don't get me wrong. He's a bold coach and he's not afraid to like take a risk to win a game, you know, and he has confidence in his team, you know, in his guys. It's just, I don't know. There's just something about it ever since that Super Bowl that it's just, I think that it really did do something to like mental internal makeup of that organization.
We've never seen McVay with Stafford, and I don't know what that's going to look like. I think it's going to be very interesting, but I don't know how much it changes the makeup of their team or the outcome of their games. They've already been a 12-win team. How much further will Stafford bring them? That really does remain to be seen. I really don't know. Yeah.
I'm going to say 17-10 Bears.
It's interesting. We're both taking the Bears. I actually thought I'd be on an island with this. I think that the Bears are hungry, man. Say
it's either going to be 20-10 or 20. No, 20. I'll take this 20. Yeah, 20-10 Bears.
I think that defense is playing inspired, like way more inspired than they in this preseason. There was a lot of guys talking, and they were just sounding like really hyped up, like they were ready to just take over the league this year. We have a lot of good linebackers, so that I'm excited.
My one concern before we kind of move on, my one concern for Chicago and for Justin Fields when and if he does start, they need to protect him. They can't give him 2 seconds. They can't give him 2 seconds of time. That's not enough time for a rookie. Those offensive linemen have to protect him for 2 3/4 seconds, to 2 3/4 to 3 seconds. He's got to get 3 seconds to throw the football. Like that offensive line has got to step up. And if they can do that, if they can be average to above average, they don't have to be really good or even good. If they can be average to above average, Fields can work with that.
That's one reason I'm glad we have Andy Dalton, because we can use him as a crash dummy for Fields. We don't want to break Fields in like that. We can break it in the Red Rocket, but we want to protect our guy Fields. He's got to last a long time. So we got a lot of Super Bowls to win.
So let's talk about some marquee matchups this week.
Here we go. Yeah, let's go.
So the opening night tomorrow, we're gonna get to see Brady and company versus the Dallas Cowboys. Thursday night, opening night. I think Dallas is gonna struggle this year. I do. I think they're gonna struggle this year. They have a ton of offensive firepower, and I mean a ton. Ezekiel Elliott, what's the other running back there that's with Elliott? The guy that Pollard.
Yeah, Pollard.
So they have Elliott and Pollard, which are, Elliott's the battering ram, run through you kind of guy. And then you got Pollard as like, a shifty change of pace back. And I mean, the wide receiving core for the Cowboys speaks for itself. I mean, Cooper, Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. Come on, man. That's those three guys are some of they're top 15 guys in the league, top 20 guys talented in the league. Gallup to me is one of the better, like he is a sneaky good receiver because you can throw that football anywhere, whether it's on his back hip in front of him and he'll make, like I said, that offensive firepower for that team has never been the problem. Even Dak is an above average to good quarterback, and you can win a Super Bowl with that guy. The problem is the problem with them is they lose games 34-30 because they can't stop anybody.
That's right. Yep. Yes. They don't really have an elite pass rush. They have a few good secondary pieces. They have a good linebacker who could stop the run, but no one who can get the quarterback. And this game is all about the NFL is all about getting the quarterback in the NFL. You got to get the quarterback. You got to trick the quarterback. You got to do all deceiving and outsmarting the quarterback is like 90% of the defense. So if you can't do that, it's a major problem, and that's the problem with the Cowboys. They have a lot of talent, and I know my guy Karam Mawani in the chat. He's saying it will owe him a big apology, and I'll owe him a big apology because I don't think the Cowboys are going to win, and I don't think the Cowboys are going to do much this entire year. I'd be surprised if they finished 500. To be honest with you, and you can take that to the bank. You can literally take that to the bank if you want to.
See, I'm with you. I think. And it's not going to be because of lack of offensive production. It's going to be because they can't stop anyone.
And they don't have a good coach.
And Mike, let's be honest, Mike McCarthy's not a good coach.
He's not.
He like you want to talk about a quarterback masking really bad coach, like mediocre at best coaching. Aaron Rodgers won in spite of Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy's been gone in Green Bay for 2 years. The Packers have been to 2 NFC championship games in those 2 years. And the defense has been improved. The defense in those 2 years was like better than every year that McCarthy was there, except for 1 year, I'm pretty sure. Both years. So I can't see. I don't know about you, JD, but I can't see Dallas winning this game. I can't either.
And let's not forget, right? Like just to jump into some offseason stuff with the Bucs, the whole team is back. No one left. Out of all their guys that were eligible for free agency, no one left. The Super Bowl champs from last year are the same team.
And not only are they the same team, but they are not only this is what the Bucs are right now. They're confident. They are hungry, which is not normal for a championship team. But here's why they're hungry. Because they have the greatest quarterback of all time, and he wants to win as many rings as possible before he goes out. He wants to ring. So they are hungry. So
think about this. Think of the talent on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And everybody knows the talent, the defense, the offense. And now you add a guy like Brady with his maniacal attitude and his drive to just win everything all the time. That's a really, really dangerous combination. Brady's attitude driving these guys. Guys on the Buccaneers took millions in pay cuts to stay on that team because of one guy, because of Tom Brady.
Because they know that they can win a Super Bowl with him easily. They know that they can, if they stick together, they can win Super Bowls, and that will mean more long term for their career than a couple of extra $1 million that they'll get somewhere else. And not only that, but Brady, the thing with them is Brady and a few other teammates, they were talking about, and if anyone else is talking about this, if literally anyone else in the entire, even if it was Peyton Manning was talking about this, I'd kind of chuckle a little bit. Well, not Peyton Manning. Okay, not Peyton Manning. But if like 95% of the quarterbacks were talking about this, I would laugh. But Brady's talking about he wants to go undefeated. He had an undefeated season, one possession away. He was this close. Do you know how bad that was hurt him? You know how bad that he's still his soul?
JD, they interviewed him. He said he would trade 2 Super Bowl rings for an undefeated season. He would trade in 2 rings to get that undefeated season.
He wants it so bad. He wants it so bad, man. And it's just, I think that it's going to start with week 1. The pace has got to be set week 1. I'm sorry, Karam, my guy, which I agree with you. Karam is 100% right that the Cowboy key to winning are take advantage of the time of possession. So, yeah, drain the clock, run the crap out of the ball, and force turnovers on defense. I doubt they can force turnovers on defense with Tom Brady. That's kind of my problem. And I think that this game for the Bucs will be, and you can, if I'm wrong, Karam, you can smash me next week. I promise you, buddy. You have all the rights in the world to destroy me next week if I'm wrong. And I will do, if you want to make a bet or something, that's cool. We'll figure, not like money, but something fun. Regardless, I think that this week will be a setting of the pace for Tampa Bay. They're going to set the pace.
Like let's say Tom goes into this week and uses this as this game to send a message. Like, what if this is 44-17?
That's what I'm saying, dude. He's nuts. He might do that.
This is coming from someone who watched Brady his entire career here. The guy is maniacal when it comes to his preparation and his drive, and I don't think the Cowboys have the personnel on defense to match up with him. I think Brady's going to eat that defense alive.
He's made it clear he's coming for perfection, dude. This isn't going to be like a last year where they kind of stumbled. They were trying different things. They were working on things. No, they got everything figured out. Everyone's back. They know they can win. It might be close, Karam. You might be right. It might be close, but I think Tampa's going to win this game.
So, what else, JD? What do you think? You got any marquee matchups you're going to be interested in?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, we can go through a couple, and we can even just run down a couple of them real quick. But let's see. There's a few, man. There's quite a few. Well, I'm going to go to the more close ones, the ones that are expected to be blowouts. That actually, Tampa Bay and Dallas is projected to be relatively. Although, never mind, they have +8. It's not really that close.
So let's bring it up, and we'll talk about some other ones too, because there was a few other really good. There's a few other really good games set up.
Here, let me share it for you. There you go. So, I would say this one right here, a rematch of the AFC title game, Cleveland versus Kansas City. I think this is generous, if you ask me. This +6. Cleveland, I think, has a very good chance here. Kansas City still, they didn't fix all of their problems from last year, from the injuries and the missing certain linemen and everything. They didn't fix all their problems. So I think Cleveland has a shot here. What do you think?
No doubt. The Browns have played the Chiefs. They've even beat them,
Mm-hmm.
The Browns have played the Chiefs historically, the last couple seasons really well. So
I think this is generous. Yeah. 36.
And I think that, so Kansas City is giving 6 to Cleveland. I think that could easily be a 1 touchdown game. Very, very easily.
Me too. Absolutely.
Definitely very, 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 and it's Cleveland has, when per matchup wise, like if you're playing fantasy, Cleveland's defense can be sneaky good with certain matchups. They're an underrated, like I think a lot of people, it's one of those defenses that flies below the radar.
Sure. Yeah, and they lost Fisher. So not only was he not in the Super Bowl, but now he's not on the team anymore.
Yeah.
So that continuity isn't there anymore. It could be they did sign someone. Who did they sign? They signed an older guy. I think it was like Trent Williams or something like that. They signed an older guy. They did sign a replacement who's somewhat of the same caliber. Regardless, though, there's not the continuity. This is one that I think is generous. So yeah, that's one that's interesting. Let's see.
I want to. Can I? Yeah. Let's talk about something real quick. This is a make or break year for a couple of guys to prove that they actually belong in this league, and not only belong, but they're not like going to be career backups. Like they could still start. There's a few of them. So I want to run a few of those by you, and then I'll see what you think. I have two of them are on one team. Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. These are make or break. Like if Barkley gets hurt this year, I think it's pretty safe to say he's an injury prone running back, and you should stay away from him.
Especially fantasy wise, yeah, and as a team, yeah, he'll never sign a big contract if he gets hurt again. Like that's just kind of. He just won't. Like he won't sign a bit if he gets hurt again for another.
Nobody will trust him enough to give him big money.
Not at that position. Not at the running back position. There's no way. It's impossible. So you're right. 100% right. He has to stay healthy. At the very minimum, stay healthy. He doesn't even have to be that good this year. He could be the guy who's coming back from the injury. That's fine. Only rush for 1,000 yards. But
Barkley needs to stay healthy for the whole
field. Yeah.
It's okay if he sits and rests. Like let's say the Giants are in the playoff hunt and they've secured a spot and they know that they're in, and he sits, week 15, week 16, 17. Yeah, that's one thing. But he needs to make it through the season or else he's going to be labeled as injury prone and he's never going to get a big payday.
Exactly.
And on the flip side, his fellow offensive partner there, Daniel Jones, drafted extremely high.
Extremely.
And for extremely high for who and what he is. This is a put up or shut up year for him. He has got to perform.
I want to see who is also in that draft. I forgot. It was Baker. Was it Josh Allen? What was that the 20? I was going to make a point. There was a lot of good talents. This is the point I'll make. There's a lot of good talented guys in that draft. That Daniel Jones was drafted in, and he was drafted over a lot of really talented guys. Therefore,
extremely talented guys who have the potential to be really good NFL players.
Exactly, and Dave Gettleman, he might, regardless, he might just double down and give Daniel Jones a contract, whether he's mediocre or not, just because he doesn't want to be proven wrong. People do that all the time.
Oh, yeah. Because they don't, like you said it exactly. Because he doesn't want to have to admit that he screwed up a pick that big.
That's not true, Water King. I was reading something, but no, I was listening to everything. No, and Jason Garrett is regressed. Jason Garrett I don't necessarily think he's regressed. I think he has new guys, different talent, and not only that, but as Bobby said, Saquon Barkley was hurt. So, like, he doesn't have as much guys to work with. Jason Garrett was never an elite offensive mind. He's like a middle of the pack offensive mind. Like, I don't know. If he's available, you have him. But regardless, yes, Daniel Jones, you were talking about this is make or break year for Daniel Jones. Absolutely. This is it, man. If he doesn't at least like throw for 4,000 yards and like have a good statistical season, he doesn't have to win necessarily this year, but if he doesn't have a good statistical season, if I'm Giants fans, I want them to start looking at other options, because I'm not going to pay that dude even middle of the market money I mean, I guess maybe I give him a Tannehill contract, but is he really going to take the Tannehill contract? That's my question.
So my next one that I was going to throw out there, Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, I don't know if it's make or break for him. I don't think he'll ever get a super big contract regardless. You know what I mean? I think that, yeah, sure, Jay. Yeah, whatever you say, Water King. Water King's funny. Teddy Bridgewater, he's always going to be a fill-in. You know who Teddy Bridgewater is? You know who Teddy Bridgewater is? I know who exactly Teddy Bridgewater is, because Teddy Bridgewater, he played for the Bears, only he looked different back then, and he wasn't quite as athletic. His name is Kyle Orton. That's Teddy Bridgewater's name. Secretly, he's a different generation. He's just Kyle Orton. That's who Teddy Bridgewater is. He literally is just the next generation Kyle Orton. He's going to bounce around the league. Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's Ryan Fitzpatrick. There you go. That's Teddy Bridgewater. He's not going to be. He's never going to be the guy for any franchise ever again. And if he is, then that franchise is naive, in my opinion. He's always going to be a stand-in. He's good enough to be a starter, but not good enough to be a star. Not good enough to get $30 million. So I wouldn't give him Tannehill money. Sorry.
I got another one for you. Make or break for Jared Goff.
Huge. I mean, I think they're going to pay him regardless. I think the Lions are that. They're that bottom of the barrel, man. They don't have unless they draft a guy, unless they're so terrible that they're the worst team in the league and they get a guy number 1 next year, then they're just going to pay. If they're even in the middle of the pack, if they even get 7 wins, they're paying Jared Goff some money, guaranteed. Because they're just desperate. Detroit sucks. No offense to you, Detroit fans. I'm sorry. Your team is terrible. They're just awful people. They're run by idiots. I'm sorry to say, they're dumb.
But, no, you hit it right. It's an organizational thing.
It's not the fan base. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, not at all. It's an organizational thing. They just, from the owner down to the coach, they're just poorly run. They caused the greatest running back to ever step foot on a football field, or one of the greatest, in Barry Sanders, to just be like, no, okay, I'm good, and just quit.
2 of them.
One of the greatest running backs to ever step foot on a football field, Barry Sanders, said, this organization blows so much that I'm just going to quit to get out of this.
I mean, yeah.
Not only did they do it once, but they did it twice, because Megatron did the same thing.
This is Detroit.
He's like, F this franchise. I'm out of here.
In less than a decade, both of these teams. So, every other superstar that ever goes to any team, they either stay with that team or they go to other teams, and they usually so basically the Lions rode the crap out of Barry Sanders to the point where he was like, dude, I don't even want to play football anymore. And they did this. And then Calvin Johnson, they rode the crap out of him to the point where he didn't even want to play football anymore. Matt Stafford, he got to escape because he was traded for. But I feel like Matt Stafford was a couple years away from being like, dude, F this.
F this. I'm done. Seriously. It's an organization. Until the Fords don't run that organization, they're until somebody without the name Ford runs that organization, they're going to be the same old Lions.
Right. And they just, they need a complete different. They need a different culture. They need a different culture.
Let's be honest. Jared Goff is not the answer for them.
I don't think so. I won't say he's not, though. I won't say he's not, because he's still pretty young. He's been to a Super Bowl. Do I think he was the main reason they went to the Super Bowl? No, but he went there. So I won't say he's not the answer for them, but they have way too many problems for them to even say he's the problem. That's for sure. He's not the problem either. He may not be the answer, but he's not the problem.
Hold on a second.
Somebody at your door.
What the hell?
What? Spider?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. They're all trying to get inside, dude. Weather's changing. It starts in the Northeast too. I'm pretty sure, right? Weather's changing and shit. Yeah.
Now that we didn't took care of that, back to our normally scheduled program.
Can't handle JD going against him.
I had to handle that.
I think that he's not.
So for those of you who are watching on the playback, I just had to turn around and swat me a spider that was drifting down in my general vicinity that I saw in the rear view of the camera. So that's why you should watch the live show so you don't miss that type of shenanigans.
The extra shenanigans for sure. But next, is there any other matchups? Let me see here. I want to look up some other matchups here. I know there's a couple.
You know which one I'm curious to see?
What's that?
Because I'm gonna be TiVoing one because I'm not gonna be able to watch it because it's being played the same time my Pats are playing. The Green Bay New Orleans game.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to see that kind of new look New Orleans with that tandem quarterbacks. Can they actually make that work, or are they going to be absolutely miserable and win 8 games this year?
Well, I think Winston.
Because I don't know if that's going to work, JD. I don't know if that two quarterback system is going to work this year.
I think they're going to use Winston as the starter. I think they're going to I think Winston's going to be I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think it's going to I don't think it ever really works. I think it's gimmicky. I think you have to have something. If it does work, it's only because Antoine Randall.
If you're the Saints, would you tank the year to pick high?
No. There's nobody there's no one specific that I would do that for. They tank for people tank for Lawrence, but there's no Lawrence isn't there anymore, so I wouldn't do that. And even if he was, I don't know. I think that the Saints have a lot. I think they have too much to offer. They have Michael Thomas. They have what's his name? Alvin Kamara. They have Kamara. And Winston's the starting quarterback. I think that he'll reel Winston in, you know what I mean? Kind of do the best he can to keep him throwing non-dangerous balls, basically. I don't know. I think it'll be a lot of running.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Jameis, do not throw into double coverage and try and squeeze a football in there that is, none of that.
If he throws a lot of interceptions, I see them switching to Taysom Hill. I don't see why not, because Taysom Hill has a bigger contract. It's a backup contract, but still a contract. So
they could be one of the teams this year. The Saints, I'm talking about. They could be one of the teams that have a sneaky bad year because of the lack of QB play and their defense isn't it was. I think middle of the pack last year. So with a bad offense, you put more pressure on your D. And I don't know. I think they have a chance at having a sneaky bad year.
It's very possible, and I think that when you don't have that voice of
Drew Brees
in the room, not that you don't have some leadership. I mean, Sean Payton, I'm sure is good, but that voice as a player on the field, it's very, I don't know. It gives you a certain sense of confidence. Winston, I don't know how much confidence he inspires in others. I mean, I really don't know. We'll see. I'm sure some teammates like playing with him. I'm sure he's popular with some people, but we'll see. That's all I can say with that. I got the Packers winning that game. Sadly, I hope Winston goes nuts on him, man. Kill them Packers. I don't care. Just kill them, bro.
Yeah, you need them to lose as many games as possible.
Please, just destroy them. Another one that I think is very interesting, actually, and it's fascinating on the line for me. Arizona at Tennessee. Arizona at Tennessee is 72% of people are picking Tennessee to win this game, but Vegas is only giving Tennessee a -7. So talk about that for a second.
See this, you're talking Tennessee at Arizona, right?
Yeah.
So Tennessee is only giving Arizona 3 points.
Or that's what I meant. So it's only a 3-point spread.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting.
So that's basically a pick 'em. That's a pick 'em game.
Yeah.
The money's just going in because everybody. Let's be honest. They're thinking that Henry's going to run all. They're going to use Derrick Henry and just run all over the Cardinals. But that's going to be. That could be a good game. That's. Yeah.
I think so. I think it'll be a really good game. I think that Tannehill can duel Kyler Murray. I think that's possible. I don't see why not. I don't see why that wouldn't be a good game, and I don't see why. The only thing is, they have a better running game. Who's going to control the clock more? The Titans.
The Titans. So, they're going to win time of possession for sure.
Right, and then that's where it'll come down to, can Kyler Murray make the plays? That's why it'll be a really good game. I think Vegas is right, and I think that the voting, the fans are totally wrong. I think it's going to be very close. But anyway, I think that's a very interesting game.
That's how you could spot fishy games right there, right? Because that's how Vegas knows. Vegas knows that game's going to be a lot closer than people think.
Washington and the Chargers, Redskins and Chargers, or whatever they want to call themselves these days. The Washington versus LA. That one's very interesting too, because
Justin Herbert and the Chargers, are they going to absolutely demolish that team? Washington has a really good, and I mean really borderline elite front four.
Yeah. Well,
but everything else surrounding them on defense is
I got the Chargers too.
You know what I mean? Their front four is borderline like elite. It's really, really good. The front four of Washington's is very good.
But
the only problem is the offense can't help that defense because who's leading it? That's the problem there is that's the problem there though, JD, is that nobody's leading that offense for Washington. You know what I mean? Yes. So the defense does their part in a lot of games. You know what I mean? The defense for Washington has kept them in a lot of games last year, but they got no help on offense because nobody's the quarterback, the leader of the offense, the guy who is the general on the field. It's the most important position on the field, and they don't have a clue there.
You couldn't have said it better. And to add to that point, the reason why I have the Chargers, and the reason why the Chargers, I feel like it's 100%, like it's going to be the Chargers to win this game, in my opinion, is because Justin Herbert. Yes, they have that's like the best thing that Washington has going for them. And guess who's the best quarterback, like the best young quarterback ever against the blitz? It's Justin Herbert. So Ron Rivera, do your worst. Oh my God, that cat it was just a big fur ball, dude. He is chilling. He looks like, he really does. He looks like a version, if like you were a cat, Bobby. That's what you would look like. So I think my cat it's starting to look like me too. It's one of those things.
You had enough there, big guy, huh? Yeah, you had a tough day, huh?
She's sleeping over there by the window. Right there.
So, do we have any other marquee matchups you want to talk about, or should we jump into the NFL 100?
We could do that. We could jump into the NFL 100. There's not that many other games that,
Before we get in there, before we get to that though, there's a couple of things I want to hit on real, like we could just do it rapid fire kind of deal.
Sure.
So an interesting article came out. This will take we're going to hit two topics, guys, and then we're going to head to the NFL 100. So in a couple of articles and a couple little, once again, more snippets coming out of Patriots camp about Mac Jones. His girlfriend and him apparently go over the playbook outside of practice. So maybe if Mac Jones's girlfriend can throw, she can be the backup too. So I mean, if she can throw, it probably couldn't be worse than Newton throwing the football.
Hey, you never know.
Was that too soon?
Too soon.
Sorry,
Too soon.
my bad.
No, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool. She's dedicated to his craft. Obviously, he is too, and she's dedicated to him enough to obviously let him be dedicated to his craft. Yeah, to help him. That's rare, man. Ring her, man. Give her a ring at that point, because there's not a lot of significant others in general that are, that supportive of people of their sitting together. They're just not. So when you find it,
Mac's girlfriend's smarter than him.
Hey, it's possible. She's helping him out. She's saying, "Hey, like, I got this for you." And
now, you sent me the other article.
Which one? I forgot.
You sent me the other article. Do you want to about the Ben Roethlisberger one?
Oh yeah. So Ben Roethlisberger, basically I'm just paraphrasing, but I can we'll just rapid fire. I'm basically paraphrasing. So he is feeling a type of way. Ben Roethlisberger. He's always feeling a type of way, but he is feeling a type of way because he took a pay cut, and I guess he's claiming that one of the conditions, or supposedly they had spoken about maybe loosely, that he would take a pay cut and then they would pay TJ Watt with that money, like the Patriots and the Bucks did for Brady and stuff.
So so Roethlisberger takes the pay cut, and he spoke with upper management about sending this money to
TJ Watt.
Yeah, to TJ Watt to keep him in Pittsburgh, correct?
Correct. Like he recognized, like, hey, I need this guy. Let's give him some money, like a good leader should do, for sure. And that deal isn't done yet, and he is not happy about that. He's like, well, why isn't this deal done yet? What do you, why are you not paying him what he wants? So I don't blame him at all. The season's about to start, so you got to get that guy in the camp. Yeah,
no, they're certainly waiting long enough to do it. It's and like you said, if there was like, talks about, okay, I'll take this pit, I could understand that if somebody said, I'll take a pay cut, but I want it to go, under a few conditions, and one of them is you send it here, you send some of it here to make sure that we have, we keep the good defense intact. And their upper management is kind of balking at the at that fact of doing it. That would kind of cheese me off. That would piss me off too. It would aggravate me too.
I think he has a point.
I don't blame him.
No, yeah, I think Big Ben has a point here, definitely.
Because he's trying to do the right thing.
Trying to win. He's trying to win, and he tried to do the right thing. You took millions of dollars away from me. You better be giving it to somebody else. So I totally understand where Big Ben's coming from here. And
it was for a good, like, it was a good, like, he was like, yeah, I'll take a pay cut, but you have to, I want to keep the team as I want to keep this team as solid as I can.
I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't be too happy about it. Let me get the full quote so we can actually quote him. Let's see here. So it says, I think TJ should get whatever the heck he wants. He's arguably the best football player in the entire game right now, not on defense, just in general. I've been going through a few negotiations here with contracts. One of the reasons I took less money was for guys like him to get paid, and he needs to get paid. He deserves every penny he wants and asks for. TJ Watt is that guy, and he should get whatever he wants, or he's that guy that should get whatever he wants. Excuse me.
So what's interesting too is he said guys, so he's not the only one.
Yeah, so apparently there's more than one that he's not happy about them not getting their deal. Pittsburgh's becoming relatively dysfunctional over the last 5 years, whereas before they weren't.
It was upper management. It's all upper management.
And it's interesting. It definitely
when Big Ben leaves too, they're going to be in trouble.
I think they are too.
That's a massive talent void, and Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph are not going to be able to fill that.
Well, I guess it's Dwayne Haskins now. Is their backup? I agree.
Well, even him, the drop skill and talent wise from Big Ben to Haskins is like falling off of Everest.
It is, and I think that even if Big Ben has deteriorated, which he has, I think that ultimately the brain, like the football IQ, the reads, everything that goes along with being him. It's kind of like Peyton Manning and Brock Osweiler. You notice how Brock Osweiler isn't even in the league anymore? And everyone's like, yeah, Brock Osweiler is even better than Peyton Manning. I remember when people were saying stupid crap like that. And just because Peyton Manning kind of his arm was messed up, but having Peyton Manning in your ear is just as valuable as having him on the field. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
So no doubt, Big Ben.
You still get to pick his brain. It's just So let's jump into this NFL 100. So did you get a chance to look it over?
Yeah, I've seen like almost every single one of them. I still need like 30 through 50.
What did you think?
Yeah.
First of all, what are your initial thoughts? What do you think?
Well, the top they got right, I think. And some people are saying, "Oh, how can I think you don't like Patrick Mahomes stuff. Tell me why you don't like Patrick Mahomes."
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, that he is I think they're prematurely crowning him like the new king of every. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like they're looking for the next like baby face of the NFL. And it's just like, oh, this guy put up a good fight against Tom Brady. Maybe we should do it with him. Or he's made some really good, like, don't get me wrong, he's a really good quarterback, really good, and he can play. But Brady and like guys that have Super Bowl rings and are proven winners and proven, professionals, that kind of means more to me than like an almost did it.
Well, I mean, he did. By the way, Bill, yes, we will talk about that definitely. But this is what I'll say about the top 100, and it is voted by players. So keep that in mind for sure. You could definitely, if you wanted to sit here and argue with me that Aaron Donald is higher than Patrick Mahomes. Okay, you could argue that he's a defensive player, so you could definitely make that he has a bigger impact. You could argue that Tom Brady should be number one. I would listen to that argument too. But none of the other guys on this list even have a remote argument, in my opinion. This is the top 10 I'm going through. That's Derrick Henry, Travis Kelce. What was that? Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, read it. Yeah, rattle off the top 10.
So
yeah.
I'll do 10 down. So it's Josh Allen is 10, TJ Watt is 9, DeAndre Hopkins is 8, Tom Brady is 7, Devontae Adams is 6, Travis Kelce is 5, Derrick Henry is 4, Aaron Rodgers is 3, Aaron Donald is 2, and Patrick Mahomes is number 1.
I might move Brady down a few. But for the most part, most of those guys in the top, I might move.
Oh, you mean down? Like
I might move the order around, but for the most part, the top 10, pretty accurate to me.
I agree. And let me tell you, let me be the other side. Let me be the Skip Bayless to your Stephen A. Smith here, guys. All right. Like let me argue with this. Let me tell you why Patrick Mahomes is definitely, without question, the number one quarterback or the number one guy. And I get the arguments for Tom Brady. I totally understand that. He's amazing. Tom Brady also had like 4 interceptions in the Super Bowl. Not in the Super Bowl, in the playoffs. And Patrick Mahomes had a few interceptions, but if you watch the tape, those interceptions were pretty like much not his fault whatsoever. People dropped the ball, it flipped around, somebody caught it. Not really his fault.
It's not much he can do when they bounce off receivers' hands and into a defensive back's.
Exactly. And he didn't have Eric Fisher. He played amazing, dude. He was probably the best, if not one of the best players on the field while he was running for his life. There was a clip in the top 100 about it was Shaq Barrett chasing Patrick Mahomes, and you can just hear him laughing. He's like, this guy is running for his life the whole game. Patrick Mahomes, hike. Oh, my God. And he'd still throw the ball right in his receiver's hands. I mean, if that's not the best player in the league, where you're getting chased down every play, you have no protection, your guys are getting, you still make these dime passes. He was amazing.
I'll give him credit where credit is due. He was doing everything humanly possible in his power to keep that team in the game. And it didn't seem like he got a lot of help around him.
Not in that game.
2, he was playing hurt for probably 3/4 of that game.
He was hurt too.
And
Yes.
3, the Buccaneers defense was just stupid good. Just stupid good.
The secondary was the pass rush that made him run the whole time, but the secondary was, I mean, they even covered Hill half the time. It was it was ridiculous. So phenomenal defense by the Buccaneers. And I think that Mahomes knew by the second quarter that this was not going to be a good night for him. But he never stopped.
Quit.
His poise
he never quit. No, I give him
changed.
All the credit in the world for not quitting. And just watching like the final 8 minutes of that game and just seeing him like basically walk around on one leg. Cause he was hurt, man. Everybody knew it in that stadium too. He was not 100%, but I give him credit.
He wasn't. I would say that objectively speaking, like Brady is the greatest football player in my life. Obviously, he's accomplished the most. He's done the most. Patrick Mahomes is the most talented football player I've ever seen. Raw talent. I've never seen a guy who's that tall, that thick, has that good of legs, and can throw the ball 70 yards that effortlessly. I've never seen it. I've never seen it like that. Even Rodgers, he has to kind of wind up. Mahomes just kind of lets it roll off his arm, dude. That thing just soars, and it is fast. So it's incredible. We had a topic. Did you have anything else you wanted to get into?
No, so you did the top 10, right?
Oh yeah, we rambled off the top 10, absolutely.
So we did the top 10. Now let's do the bottom 10. So 90 to 100.
Okay. That one here, let me pull that up. 90 to 100. Why don't they have it up with everything? 1 second. I will get that for you.
Because I see one in the top. I see one in the bottom one. You want me to? I got it pulled up. You want me to pull them off?
Yeah, please.
All right. So number 90 is Jesse Bates, the safety from the Bengals.
He's
number 91 is Corey Davis, wide receiver for the Jets. Number 92 is Jason Kelsey, the center for the Eagles.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Number 93, TJ Hawkinson, tight end for the Lions.
And the Hawkeyes.
And and Iowa, right? Came from Iowa, right? Correct.
My Hawkeyes, yeah.
Number 94, Jarvis Landry, wide receiver for the Browns. Number 95, Tre'Davious White, cornerback for the Bills. That's one that I'm a little shocked he's that far down. He's a good cornerback. I think he should have been somewhere maybe in the 60s, 70s.
He's
or
dangerous.
60s. Yeah. He's a very good corner. That one kind of surprised me. Number 96 is Cole Beasley, wide receiver for the Bills.
It's also
number 97, Kyle Juszczyk, fullback for the Niners. And he surprised me being that high too, because he is a huge part of that 49er offense. Whether it's blocking or even running or catching footballs, he's a massive part of that offense. And for him to be that low on the list, I thought he'd be in the 70, probably, either low 80s or high 70s. So that was kind of a surprise there.
Yeah, but a lot of what he does, a lot of his success is attached to George Kittle. George Kittle, yeah, George Kittle. Yeah, a lot of his success is attached to Kittle. Yeah, and then it doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. And that's the middle of the field. The 49ers, nobody does it better than the 49ers. The middle of the field. So that running counter tight end.
No doubt. So 98 is Brandon Shreve.
Yep, another Iowa Hawkeye.
The guard from Washington. 99 is Brandon Graham, defensive end for the Eagles.
Yeah.
And 100 is James Robinson, running back for the Jaguars. Yeah. Now we got some Bears mixed in there. Allen Robinson, number 87. What do you think about that?
I mean, I hope he's still a Bear after this year. We'll see. I mean, we had to franchise him, and I don't know. I think that we're waiting to see how Justin Fields. If Justin Fields is a really good quarterback, then we're going to sign him long term. And if he's not, or if he doesn't mesh with Justin Fields, then we're probably not going to sign him. So, I mean, he's an incredible player, like incredible player. He's the best receiver that we've had since Alshon Jeffrey, arguably the best since Brandon Marshall.
Stephon Gilmore, corner. So here we go, guys. Here's something for Patriot Nation. Stephon Gilmore comes in this list, number 47. What do you think, JD? Higher or lower for Gilmore?
47,
or is he right where he should be? 47.
That sounds about right. Leedy says the NFL Top 100 can never get it right. That's actually the players voting on it, though. So it's really not about getting it right. It's just what the players think. At 47,
yeah. No, I see. I forgot that that it was voted on by the players.
Yeah, it's not the journalists. If it was the journalists, I'd probably mock it.
I think this list would be way different. Way different.
Yeah, it would. I agree with you. Yeah, the players. You said 47 for Gilmore. That's. Yep. I mean, that's.
Now here's an interesting little fact, right? 47 for Stephon Gilmore, 49 for J.C. Jackson. So J.C. Jackson right on him.
Wow. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. You got I always said, Bill Belichick, man. He knows his cornerbacks. He understands. He knows, man. That secondary, he gets it.
I'm just scrolling down. Yeah.
Water King's cracking me up this episode.
So, JD, what are you expecting this year from the season, from the football season? We get an extra game. Do you think that's going to how do you think that's going to affect things? We get an extra game this year.
I think it becomes even more of a war of attrition. Who can stay healthy? Best training staff becomes, who's the best training staff? That becomes even more important because we have just another game for guys to get injured down the stretch. I also think that one good thing that it does is the last few games of the season always seem relatively boring, but adding an odd number of games, it could, not saying it will, but it's possible that for certain divisions, it could make the wild card. That's actually Cavs fans exactly what I was going to say. The wild card race in the playoff hunt becomes that much more crazy with that extra game. You're going to have people trying a little bit harder towards the end of the season than we've seen in probably previous years.
No, I 100% agree with that. It's really like you pretty much said exactly what I was going to say, is that it when it comes to the playoff picture and the wild card and these teams, but these bubble teams that are fighting for that last spot, it's going to make it very, very interesting come about week 13, 14.
Yes. It no longer will be, we're out of it anymore, or, we're definitely going to make the playoffs. No. You got to keep trying until probably week 15. if you're in the playoff hunt, you got to make sure to establish your playoff position.
Now, I got a few questions for you.
Sure.
So, can the Buccaneers repeat? Can they do it? Can they go back to back?
Yes. They can.
They will?
Do I think they will? It's so hard. But I give them a good chance. I think they have as good of a chance as the Chiefs to go back. I think they have as good of a chance as the Ravens. I think the Ravens, the Bucks, the Packers, even, they all have a really good chance. And I think that if it comes down to Tom Brady, I think they'll make it again. I think they'll make it because that's what happened last time. And yes, Brady played like crap in the Packers games. I get it. He played like crap in the Packers game.
That won't happen again.
But they won.
Happen again, though.
And then once that happened, they dominated the Super Bowl. So it's like, I just think that it's so important. Like this year, he's going to be balls to the walls. I think that they're going to be trying. I think they're going to go for perfection. That could backfire. That could definitely backfire for them.
Me as a Patriot fan growing up, right, and just watching them, the success. I would say I would rather see my team win 13, 14 games. 13 or 14 games in the regular season, not be perfect, not have that stress of the perfect season on you, roll into the playoffs, roll through the playoffs, and win a Super Bowl.
That's all great, but Brady has done that 7 times, and I think he wants perfection. I think that's all he is chasing anymore.
Yeah,
because
that's his holy grail.
It is, and he's already gotten everything else. He even stuck it to Bill. He even stuck it to Belichick, and a lot of Patriots fans don't want to say it like that. I know Bill Burr. I was listening to him talk about it. I don't know if you listen to Bill Burr ever, but he's a funny Patriots fan.
He's talked a lot about the Buccaneers at least going back, maybe not winning, but definitely going back.
Yeah, I think they could. They have everyone back. They're that much. They have that much more chemistry, and you. Brady is not a guy who gets that Super Bowl fatigue. He doesn't get that hangover. He doesn't get Super Bowl hangovers. It's not Tom Brady. So,
all right. So before we get out of here, JD, before we let the chat loose and answer some of their questions, final record prediction for your Bears and their land. How are your Chicago Bears going to fare this year?
10-7. I'm firm at 10-7. If anywhere from 10 to 12 wins, I think we get at least 10. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
10-7.
Water King. Yeah, 10-7 is what I think we're going to struggle middle of the field. But this, I think we're gonna struggle in the middle in the middle of the season. Sorry, not in the middle of the field. I think we're gonna struggle in the middle of the season, but I think we'll make the playoffs, the wild card, or at least be in the hunt. It's very possible. And if we miss the playoffs, it'll be by we won't lose, or we'll win at least 8 games, 8 to 12. We're gonna be in somewhere in that range.
Now
we will, Bill.
So I'm going to say 10-7, 10 wins for I'm going to say 10-7 for the Patriots too. That is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go 10-7, and I'm going to go with they make the wild card.
So we're both wild card teams.
Yep.
That's all right. I'm all right with that. I can take it. We're in the hunt.
So
the Giants want it.
Let's turn it over to the chat. And let's see what they got to say and answer some of their questions. And
Bill's got a question.
Bill said, can we talk about the Le'Veon Bell signing with the Ravens because of their current running back situation? So the Ravens lost, I think, both of their running backs to season. I think both of their running backs to season-ending injuries. I know at least one of them.
That's awful. It's a tragedy. I mean, it really is. You can't. Yeah.
So is there anything left in the tank for Bell? Do you think he'll make a difference there, or no?
He's better than. Well, here's the thing with that, with Le'Veon. I don't know how much in shape he is. I know for a fact that what he does in his off time is smoke a lot of weed and write rap music, which is fine. I'm not that's not anything.
Yeah, your personal time, you do it. Yeah, your personal time, you do whatever you want. Yeah,
you do whatever you want. That's fine. But I don't know how much time he spent in the gym. And I don't know if this is a payday, if this is a quick buck he's getting, a couple $1 million, then leave, whatever, get cut, who cares? I don't know if that's what this is, or if he genuinely is trying to make a comeback in the league. If he's genuinely trying to make a comeback in the league, I give him as good of a chance as any to make an impact. He could definitely make an impact. We've seen it hundreds of times. Players, especially in the skill positions, they get kicked out of the league because they're not that good, and they come back, find a new fit, and they're productive. So it's definitely possible. it could be a joke, Bill. I'm 50-50 on it. But like, yeah, he's a name. He's a name too. The Ravens are probably thinking we need a guy with experience, with some talent, who will appease our fan base. Some of the fan base are going to be like, well, I'm glad they didn't just sign some random rookie. Also, I think they got they lost Justice Hill too. Damn, and they're screwed.
So someone says, somebody said, Greg said, what's our prediction for the Pittsburgh Steelers and their season? I'm gonna say
that's true, Water King.
I'm gonna say 9 or 10 wins for Pittsburgh. I'll say 9-8 or 10-7, somewhere in there.
I want to be clear really quick. With that whole thing, I was not criticizing what his hobbies are at all. I'm just saying I don't know how dedicated to football he is. That's all I was saying.
No, I know what you were saying. Yeah. I know what you're saying. You're saying
that's all I'm saying.
It's a football shape thing. You got to, if you want to play football, you got to stay in football shape.
I'm not in football shape at all. So I get it.
So that's I'm gonna say 9-10 wins with a ceiling for Pittsburgh, but I say 9-8.
My favorite food is fat people food. That's my favorite food.
Edible stuff.
Yeah, edible stuff. Lots of edibles. Steelers prediction. I'm kind of with him. Yeah, 7. I don't think the Steelers are going to be very good.
9-8, 10-7, 10-7 at a ceiling. At a ceiling, right?
He said no one was attacking you. You need to quickly back yourself. No. I just wanted to be clear, Water King. That's all. I just want to be clear.
We're
Some
good.
people be like, "Oh, you're trashing him for smoking weed." Trust me, I'm not doing that. Nothing wrong with that.
No, you were just saying that if he's going to play, he's got to be in football shape. He can't just show up and play.
You gotta be hit too. Being hit is part of football shape too. Like being able to take a beating. So, who has the best running back duel or duo? I think you mean
who
duo.
Has the best running back duo in the league?
Whew. A lot of good ones. It's hard to say these days, man. Running backs like come and go like flies. They're just like you never even know. Like, oh, I thought he was good. Never mind, because he's out of the league. It's like it's wild.
I think the Patriots duo is going to be good. I don't know how. I think they're going to be solid. I don't know if they're going to be like elite, but I think they're
Patriots and Niners.
That's true. Yeah, the Niners probably got a are up there too. They have a good duo there.
Yeah, the committees. I feel like the committees are the best. Yeah, the Patriots and but it's we're season and everyone's fine. Yeah,
I'll say for Pittsburgh's an interesting one though, because if Big Ben can make it through the season, then 10 wins is definitely there.
He looks good. Big Ben looks good. He looks healthy. He looks like he did when he was like 35. So I don't think he's gonna have a bad year. When he's out of shape, he doesn't play that well.
Now so I'm gonna say this: the teams that are gonna be really bad this year, this is just like I think these are gonna be like in the bottom 6 or 8 teams, and in no particular order. I think the Cowboys are gonna be bad. I think they're gonna be really bad. I think they're gonna be under or right at 500. I think I think the Jags are still gonna suck. I think Lawrence might have a decent year, but I think Jacksonville's still rebuilding down there. I think they're going to be bad. I think the Jets are still going to be bad. They got a quarterback, but not too much else.
Right.
I think Cincinnati's still going to be really bad, and I think the Saints could be really bad. But those are my teams that I think are going to sit in like the top 8. What do you think, JD?
I'm kind of with you. I think I think they're pretty much the same about the Cowboys. The Cowboys, every year we hear that they're going to go to the Super Bowl. They have some good offensive talent. Defensive talent is pretty average. I'm with you though. I think that it's going to be a lot of the same from last year. I'm trying to pull up the matchups, and I think that it's going to be a lot of the same from last year, and I just think that The Saints, yeah, I think the Saints will take a big step back. I agree with you. I think they're going to take a big step back, and not even anything against Jameis necessarily, but I just don't think he's the. I don't think he's what they need right now. I think they had something going with Breeze, and I don't think it'll work out. I think the NFC East is going to be pretty terrible. I actually have Washington winning the NFC East, believe it or not.
I think the Eagles are going to be bad this year. I think they're going to be really bad.
I don't have a lot of faith in them, and I don't have a lot of faith in the Giants or the Cowboys. So I think Washington will get like 9 or 10 wins and win that division. Seahawks, that whole division, the NFC West is amazing.
Yeah, no doubt. That whole division is really good.
Yeah,
it's been that way for like a long time.
They're just, they're amazing. So nothing bad to say about the NFC West at all. Panthers, I think, will be average. Falcons, average to below average. The Lions will suck. Vikings, I think, are going to take a step back.
See, no, I'm with you there. I think the Vikes are going to take a step backwards. They're in trouble. They got some stuff they got to figure out on the defensive side of the football. They're in trouble.
The Dolphins, I don't know. The Jets will suck. The Bills, I think, will be the same as last year, maybe a little worse. Ravens will be good. Well, I don't know, man.
They lost both of their running backs. Don't forget,
They might be as bad as 500, honestly. The Browns could just take that division. They could just dominate that division. It's very possible. And the AFC South is trash, except for the Titans, pretty much. Yeah.
Outside of the Bucks.
Not the NFC. The
AFC. All right.
Yeah. Well, the NFC South, you're right, is trash too, except for the Bucks. So for sure, man. That's the NFL preview, though, man. That's pretty much everything. That's a lot. That is a lot. We've got.
So we covered a lot.
We got it. This is exciting, man.
The NFL season is upon us, JD. Tomorrow,
it's the eve.
The eve of the NFL season.
It's exciting, man.
Brady's taking the pirate gang down to Dallas.
Water kicks killing me. Oh no, man. It's just, I'm excited, man. I just want there to be games so we can start getting a picture in our eyes, like what the season's gonna look like. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, it's all conjecture at this point. We don't know. I mean, the Panthers could be dominant this year. We don't know.
Hold on, I just fought it into this pillow. I gotta move it.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you don't want to get some pink eye or nothing. Oh my god,
that was funny right there. My bad, guys. All right, we're good. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. That's episode 6, the NFL preview. We're ready for the season, the eve of the NFL season tomorrow.
So ready.
Final words?
Bear the fuck down.
And let's go Pats, guys. We will catch y'all for episode 7 this weekend. We will be back at it. Thank you again for anybody who is watching on the playback. Thank you again for anybody listening on iHeart and anywhere else this is put up, guys. Thank you again. We appreciate all of the continued support, and we will catch y'all later. But for now, me and JD are out, and we will see you guys this weekend. And we're out.
Oh, yeah.
Peace, guys.
Peace out.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.